Welcome everybody to another episode of Let's Play Starcraft 2 Wings of Liberty. My name is Moonsaber and I'll be joining you on this fine adventure. So in the last episode, we met up with our old buddy Zeratul, who gave us this fancy crystal that we can use to view his memories. And from them we gained a bit of insight about the so-called prophecy that supposedly involves the Protoss and the Zerg and some weird creatures called the Zelnaga. In this episode, we're going to jump right back into that crystal and see what more information we can glean from its secrets. But first, a bit of housekeeping. So one of the things I like about the fact that doing these missions on the crystal is that you can get, even though you don't get any credits for it, you still get Protoss and Zerg research, which definitely helps boost up your research in this department. In fact, we got enough Zerg research to move on to the next stage. I'll give you guys a moment. You can pause the video right here and read through this entry log about the new the Zerg. Alright, let's go ahead and talk with Hanson.
I'm okay, Doc, before you start asking.
You were staring at that Protoss device for a very long time. Are you sure?
Well, now you mention it, I could use a drink. Or two. Maybe what I saw would make more sense if I was drunk.
What was it, Jim?
An old friend of mine. Looking for the end of the world.
So again, a few more points in the Protoss and we reach the next tier of Zerg, which gives us access to 2 units, though you can only choose one. Predator, which is an anti-infantry specialist that emits a powerful area shock attack with each attack, useful for taking out a group of light enemies. Or you can get Hercules, which are massive transport ships, which can deploy loaded troops almost instantly. So both are useful. One is used as more of a utility option, and the other is more of just another way for dealing with another form of attack. I'm not a big fan of either of these options, but more often than not I just choose the Predator option because I feel like part of me, it does help cover some weakness of the Terrans in that they don't really have a lot of option for area dealing damage. A lot of their attacks, a lot of theirs are more single target focus. So I'm just gonna go ahead and get Predator. Let's go ahead and go to the cantina. Check out the news.
We have a very special guest today, Crown Prince Valerian. Thank you so much for joining us, Highness.
Thank you, Kate. It's wonderful to be here.
Let me get right to the question on everyone's mind. Is there anyone special in your life right now?
Truth be told, Kate, I've had a crush on you for many years.
Oh, stop.
But in all seriousness, with the Zerg invasion, there's little time for such things. I've been studying military tactics under General Warfield, and whatever spare time I have is devoted to statecraft. It's my goal to be the best emperor our people could ask for. When the time comes, of course.
Wonderful. Now I've got 2 of them to worry about.
Let's talk with Tosh.
Good to see you, brother. I've been... Wait. I can see it in your eyes. You've seen into the spirit world. The Protoss. He gave you a crystal. And now you've been seeing what he's seen.
That ain't nothing to do with you. Stay out of my head, Tosh.
Have it your way. But you want to tread careful when you go looking into the beyond. If you need me, you know where I'll be.
And let's talk with Tychus.
How did you become such good buddies with those freaky Protoss? All I hear is they kill Terrans like you and me on sight.
Some of them would. But some others would fight to the death protecting people like us. I helped them defend their homeworld from the Zerg during the First War. When Kerrigan came back leading the swarm, I helped him out again. They're real big on loyalty.
Damn, Jimmy. Almost sounds like you respect them.
I wouldn't expect you to understand, Tychus.
I think those were some events you get to do in the first game, but I'm not. But yeah, I'm pretty sure those were events that took place during the first. Let's go and visit the armory. Nothing much has changed. And so we'll go to the bridge and talk with her.
How long was I down in the lab, Matt?
You've been gone for hours, sir. You've been in the lab all that time?
I used the Eon crystal Zeratul gave me. I swear it only lasted a few minutes. So vivid. Zeratul's been searching for a Zelnaga prophecy about the end of the universe. There's more. Just haven't got to it yet.
But we're going to get into it right now, so put on your big boy pants, Jimmy. Let's go ahead and dive right back in.
I gathered allies, and we made our way to the forbidden archive world of Zaku. There, a triumvirate of mystic preservers awaited us, and in the shadows, something else was watching and waiting.
Alright, so this mission is a sinister turn. We have to consult the preservers on Zakul. We had 3 Protoss research and 3 Zerg research. Let's go ahead and jump right in.
Alright, Zeratul, old buddy, you've got your mysterious prophecy. Now let's see what your preservers made of it.
My quest to decipher the prophecy took me to the forbidden archive world of Zakul. Here, 3 immortal preservers guarded ancient knowledge. Only they could transcribe the prophetic fragments. I needed to seek them out quickly.
Alright, let's jump right in and get started.
It is strangely silent here, yet these structures are intact. With power, they would be functional.
Alright. So let's go ahead and get started. Right now, let's go ahead and get power back to these buildings. All Protoss buildings minus the Nexus and the Vespene guys, their extractors, require power to function. Power are created with pylons. Each pylon generates a field where you can put buildings inside of them, inside of that field. Pylons also represent your supply. The more pylons you have, the larger your supply.
The mighty spirits of the preservers are imprisoned close by. We must find them.
And we will. I'm just going to take a moment to start building up my workforce. So, pylons, as I mentioned before, are your supply and your power sources. The assimilators are your Vespene extractors. You have gateways, which are your basic infantry spawning building. You can build zealots and Stalkers. Zealots are the basic infantry of the Protoss. They're powerful melee warriors but can only attack ground units. And Stalkers are your ranged support units which can attack ground and air.
There are many abandoned structures in this place that we can make use of. They merely need their power restored by the construction of a few well-placed pylons.
So that's our bonus objective. I believe we get research, Protoss research by powering these 3 abandoned structures. So I'm going to go ahead and turn out a few zealots. Now going over the rest of myself, a cybernetics core creates weapon and armor upgrades for Protoss air units and allows you to make stalkers at your gateway. Your Twilight Council is a special building that can be used to upgrade that has upgrades for zealots and stalkers. And then your forge provides your ground upgrades, so damage for Protoss ground, armor for Protoss ground, and shield for all units and structure. We also have a defensive building, our photon cannons. These are our basic and only defensive building. They can attack ground and air units and do respectable damage. Not amazing, but it works.
The preservers you seek serve a higher power now, Dark One.
Uh-oh.
Higher power? What could have corrupted these Protoss so? Truly, something foul has taken hold of this sacred place. It's over.
This is a problem.
Ula Sadari, by your will. Antara Tassadar, honor guides me. A robotics facility. This structure may prove useful to us.
So this is a robotics facility. Right now it's currently without power, but we just have to bring power to it and it should be all good to go. We have access to zealots now. As I said, the basic infantry units with good attack, although they can only target ground forces. They also have a charge ability which allows them to charge towards their opponents and puts them into melee range. This is useful if you need to intercept enemies or get basically your front line in position to hold off the enemy forces while your ranged units do their work.
I return to serve. My thanks, Mighty One.
With reactivating the robotics facility, we gain access to Immortals, which are heavy walker units that have got... Oop, cutscene.
Protoss and Zerg hybrid. Gods, an abomination. Who created this atrocity?
So that is not a good sign at all.
I am the voice of the eclipse.
That is definitely not good at all. Better build some pylons. So yeah, we need to get down to here. But we have this hybrid who's busy channeling the... That's a hybrid, by the way. Which is a Protoss and a fusion of a Protoss and a Zerg. Getting a few more workers. I need to get myself set up quickly. I can probably... send a few more workers to collect minerals. And the hybrid is now on the move. Okay. I need to get more weapon damage for my ground forces. I need to create another photon cannon right there. Build another stalker unit. The nice thing about, so unlike an SCV, probe does not need to stay next to a build. Like, they don't need to spend any more time with construction. All they do is just go over to this place and pop down there and warp in the building. After that, you can have them go off and do something else if you need them to. But anyway, the hybrid's gonna approach, and hopefully with this force that we have here plus the photon cannon, we should be able to cause it some damage or take it out. Nice warping. All right.
Hybrid is draining the Berserkers to survive. I must free them before it is too late. Acquire my skills.
Spoiler alert, you got a fair amount of time before that happens.
I serve a dark shrine. Once power is restored, it could be of great value to us.
Let's go ahead and put power back to it. Get a few more zealots. Put a few more probes back on to harvesting Vespine. Go ahead and just queue up the armor.
We are one with the shadows. Upgrade complete. Zeratul, truly fate has sent you here. Join me, brothers, and we shall cleanse this place of evil. Command us.
Where are you going? Okay, so now after restoring power to the Dark Spiral, we have access to Dark Templar, which are much weaker versions of Zeratul. They are permanently cloaked. And the damage that you do is pretty respectable. Let's go over this way because I want to push towards that final spot. And we'll clear out this base location as well. Let's build another immortal. There's my probe, still over there. Probe, I need you to go and build me a few more pylons.
This Templar archive lies abandoned. Very well.
Let's get over back here, because we got to defend our position. Shield research is almost done. Weapon research is done. Alright, shields are up.
My skills. I am cold is the void.
Let's go ahead and start putting out. Let's go ahead and take care of this person. So yeah, this hybrid's not really that difficult. Yeah. And just because I can, I'll pop a Nexus in.
Ready yourself, noble warrior. We confront a terrible evil this day.
Alright, so with that we have access to High Templars, which are psionic warriors that can be upgraded to use Psionic Storm and have access to, can use feedback and Psionic Storm. You can also merge two of them to create an Archon. I'm going to go ahead and build and go away a gateway and a robotics facility down there.
We shall stand against the darkness.
Oh yeah. The one thing I don't like about High Templars, at least in this version of the game, they don't have a form. They don't have a way to auto attack on their own. They are wholly reliant on their abilities. Build a few more of these, a few more of these. Build a few more of those.
We shall stand against the darkness.
A few more here. And I think I'm pretty much all set to go to be able to go and
Our minds are as one.
push through and take out and free the preserver. As you notice, as the battle rages on, the hybrid starts gaining more and more abilities. let's go ahead and get through this. And actually, I'm pretty sure it is over because I'm about to free the preservers.
The spirits of the preservers are entombed within. We must break them open immediately.
And there we go. And that takes care of that. And the hybrid is gone.
We have seen prophetic fragments in your mind, Zerg. We will make of them what we can. The cycle shall draw to its end. The Zelnaga who forged the stars will transcend their creation. Yet the fallen one shall remain, destined to cover the void in shadow. It begins with the great hunger. It ends in utter darkness. A great hungerer. Could it refer to the Zerg Overmind? It has a part to play in this prophecy. I must seek out the Overmind's final resting place. Our ancient homeworld of Ire.
Alright, and with that, that'll be the end of this one. A nice little short mission, as it pretty much introduced how the Protoss buildings and units sort of function. Anyway, thank you all for joining me on this day, and I hope you all have a good day. See ya, bye bye.